fireworks to end this one. In the ninth, 2 on, no out, and Christopher Morel, he calls game on this one. The walk-off 3-run shot, he's going crazy. Out to center field, we were going crazy. There have only been 5 times in this matchup with the ending in a walk-off. The last one, Ramis Mariris, in 2008. The Cubs fly the W, 4-3, the final. Are you kidding me? Time now to head out to the friendly confines where Caitlin Sharkey was on hand for all the madness. K-Shark, we went crazy in the office. I think it was a little bit more lit where you were seeing it in person tonight.
It was absolutely electric, so loud, probably one of the loudest times I've heard Wrigley in the last couple seasons for sure, but because this game took a complete turn of events, right? The way this game started, you thought there's no way the Cubs dig out of this one just because they weren't putting any kind of balls in play. Well, Christopher Morel, like you said, called game, an absolutely electric moment. His celebration, I think, is probably the best part of it all. Him rounding the bases, losing the helmet, taking the jersey off. He said it was one of the most fun moments of his career. He said his major league debut was at the top of the list. Well, tonight that walk-off homer dethrones that part of his career for most fun. But all in all, an incredible ending for this game and this series for the Cubs, who felt like they're never out of games, and this just proves the depth that they have right now for this team. But all in all, a huge celebration and a huge win for Christopher Morel.
No sé cómo ni cómo traducirlo en inglés, pero me siento.
That's a moment I can't even translate into English, but I'm definitely very, very happy, very excited. You know, I definitely want to thank God. I want to thank my teammates. You know, they never given up, kept on fighting, and just want to go ahead and thank the fans as well, and everything out there with the environment and just everyone overall. It was a great moment.
What a great swing, great environment. I mean, Christopher Morel, he's just so electric. That ball smoked. Really good at bats leading up to that, obviously. Nick Madrigal with the home run early on, and I think gonna probably go unsung, but Michael Fulmer, wow, what a big outing for him. That was huge for us.
Fulmer, they credit him in a big way as well to get out of the jam that he was in, because things were looking very dire for the Cubs in that situation. But David Ross also credited Christopher Morel's maturation at the plate, and how the fact that he knew that all of this adrenaline was going through his body when he stepped up to the plate in this big moment, but he didn't chase, he remained patient, and with one swing of the bat changed this entire game and this entire series around. So David Ross very complimentary of how much Christopher Morel has grown in his young career at the plate. But before the game, there was even bigger Cubs news and affecting their pitching staff, and that was Marcus Stroman, who was supposed to come off the injured list. He went on the injured list in early August. Well, now he will be out of the Cubs rotation for the foreseeable future. He suffered a right rib cartilage fracture. They don't know when he suffered this injury. It has nothing to do with the injury that put him on the injured list to begin with in early August, but they don't know how long he's going to be out of this rotation. He's been dealing with a lot of pain. He can't return to any kind of throwing until the symptoms subside, but right now the Cubs without Marcus Stroman for the foreseeable future.
We're hopeful to get him back tonight and start pitching the way he was in April and May, and obviously that didn't happen, but we've been playing great baseball for quite a while, and I think this time of year you just sort of kind of roll with things like that and move forward, and we have depth. We've obviously been using that depth for a while and performing, so we have to keep doing that, but I don't know, I think this time of year you don't stop and wallow too much. You say it's too bad, we'd love to have him pitching for us, but he's not, and we'll keep playing well.
We've got a good team. We've got some depth, and sometimes that gets tested, and other guys got to step up when you want to go to the playoffs. Every team deals with little things that pop up like this, and so we've got a lot of professionals in that room, a lot of good big leaguers, and we're going to be fun. It'll be Smiley or Hayden that'll slide into that. I'm probably leaning Smiley pretty heavily right now to make those starts.
So you can hear the tone. Obviously, they're upset about the fact that Marcus Stroman is once again injured and suffering an injury that they don't really know anything about. It's not a typical pitcher injury, but if this was a little bit different, maybe at the beginning of the season when Stroman was really shining and was the ace for this Cubs team, you would hear a little bit more panic in their voices. Right now, they understand that they need to make the adjustments, because there is no time to feel sorry for themselves or no time to adjust. They need to lean on, like he said, Drew Smiley and other pitchers in this rotation, even Javier Assad, who started tonight and place of Stroman as they move forward. So not the injury news you want to hear as far as pitching performance, but the Cubs know what's on the line. They know what's ahead of them, guys, and that they don't have any time to waste or feel sorry for themselves as they continue this playoff push.
Yeah, Caitlin, as you mentioned, Stroh has not been the same guy really since the end of that London series when he developed the blister. So they're going to have to rely on the other guys to finish this 6-week stretch. But, man, up until about 9:33 Central Time, that ninth inning, we were looking like the Cubs were not going to have Stroman. They're going to get swept at home by the White Sox here going into the off day. Everything changed there, and I tweeted this out the last 3 weeks, some of these monumental games for the Cubs, right? The comeback on the South Side, the 36 runs against the Reds, the Tauchman home run robbery. You're on this team like I am, Caitlin. What is the sense you get talking to the guys that something special is maybe brewing on the North Side?
Well, that's exactly what Nick Madrigal said when I asked him, do you think, what does it say about the fight in this team that they're never really out of games? And he said, you can just tell, I've been on winning teams before. There is something special brewing with this team right now, and you can feel it inside the clubhouse. Everyone's really close. They're all rooting for each other. And the way that this series started, the way that this game started, it was all White Sox, like you guys showed in the highlights. Mike Clevenger was cruising along, his best start in a White Sox uniform. So, and I think defensively, the Cubs were struggling. It was very sloppy. Ian Happ had some issues out in left field tonight. So nothing was really aligning, but also it just proves the Cubs' depth that they have, that they can make the adjustments. Nick Madrigal to hit his second home run of the season in a moment like this and in a game like this. And then for Christopher Morel to follow it up with the walk-off homer, I think says a lot about this Cubs and the special moments that are needed late in the season for baseball teams to make a run.
We definitely get home safe, and I know it's still electric out there, so make sure that you get home safe, all right? Because there's going to be people partying in the streets out there.
I can still hear him. Thanks, guys.
All right, when we return, guess what? We head out to Indy where the Bears and the Colts butt heads for the first of 2 joint practices. Joshua Fryman, don't go anywhere. It's coming up next here on GN Sports.